Greg Martin joins us as he does every Thursday, people. Come on down, Greg. All right, Greg. So before we even start talking sporting matters, mate, just sort of, housekeeping. Mrs. Marto's been away. She came back. You had debt all over the house. She said last week that you haven't cooked a meal. How long does it take to settle back into, the fact you've been married for 30-something years?
For Humdrum has overtaken our house again. While we look at each other and go, it's been a long time, that 30 years. All good. But by God, has she got some nice clothes. That Paris joint, that must have some good op shops or something, because she said it cost bugger all.
Yeah.
She had hardly spent a cent. And then told me she had an espresso martini one night that cost 60 Australian dollars. Anyway.
Yeah, but when you're in Paris, mate, I mean, you're there. I mean, you don't cut. You just go, whatever. I'll pay it later. I'll credit card it and I'll pay it.
I wasn't there.
No, you weren't. No, that's actually a very good point, as a matter of fact.
That's what relationships and great partnerships are built on, going together places, but not just going to Paris on your own. And there might be some fractures, I don't know. I have to talk to Mrs. Marto. I hope she doesn't listen to this show.
Super Rugby final is on Saturday night. It's the Blues versus the Chiefs, and I described it as a beautiful piece of rugby irony that the Chiefs stole the final away from them in the last second in the round robin and then handed it back to them with the semi-final. So you'd expect a little gift basket on all the seats, wouldn't you, in the changing room?
I would guess so. Geez, this is interesting, isn't it? This whole Super Rugby Pacific, the whole of the South Pacific, and it comes down to two neighbours about 80 kilometres away from each other. Interesting for the rest of us. Really interesting. Not. No, I wouldn't expect. No, exactly. So, but is it something that will be watched, or is it something that most people are just just look at the result, passing interest? No one here. The Rusted On fans over here will watch it, but that'll be about it, because you just watch. Maybe I'm talking for me, but after years of watching every game of Super Rugby every weekend, I'm only watching my team.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Mate, there'll be some rugby league on in the afternoon. I might be watching that, because we got this stupid Stan, and Kath said to me, the Reds are out, we can cancel Stan now, so I'm going to be rugbyless. Anyway, that's where I'm at. I don't know about you.
Well, we got Origin coming up on Wednesday. Is Queensland excited? Here we go. Now we're talking, right?
Now we're back. Yeah. Now we're back into something we like: hatred for people from another state.
Yes.
Therefore, I do understand how much the Blues and the Chiefs hate each other. Mate, it's a circus. Is there a need anymore for them to go into camp for 10 days? So there's big moves here going. Is Wednesday night the right time? The right night? Do we need these players to go and drink beer for 3 or 4 days and then start training? Do the clubs need to miss them? Because NRL's now becoming bigger than Origin. It's a really weird thing over here. Like, the eyeballs will be watching Origin, but people are going, aren't we putting too much into these 3 silly games each year? That's getting the attitude now, because everyone's buying into NRL and their club and everything. They're going, you're stealing all our players, you're making them injured, and then our team can't go any good. I'll tell you, there's a phenomenon over here, and he played with you guys at the Wars for a couple of seasons. Reece Walsh. Are you aware of the phenomenon that he has become in Australia? He is any girl from the age of 10 to about dead just love Reece Walsh. And I think I don't know if it's the Justin Bieber effect. Girls love little blokes. They may feel threatened by big blokes. I don't know, but everybody is in love. It's become bigger than the game. Have you noticed it from over there?
Look, I think that we would have if he had been playing for the Warriors, but because he's playing for Brisbane and that there's the kind of separation there, and there's always been a rivalry between the two. Plus, he, the way he fannied and fluffed around, faffed about and did the dirty on us, wanted to come. Then he didn't. Then he pulled out the old convenient excuse with the family clause and stuff. Look, I don't know whether or not the youngies still... I'm sure that the Instagram crowd, the TikTokers, love him to bits, but I think the older fans kind of like, nah, meh. If he was playing for us, we'd love him, of course, but because he's not, no.
No, it's just keep an eye on it. I don't know if you're doing it. He will be the face of, if he's not already. I told you about the night I went to watch the Broncos. It was pissing down rain. There were 37,000 people there, and I went, oh, my God, this is amazing. When they introduced him, they introduced everyone else. Oh, lovely, yeah. Then all of a sudden, Reece Walsh, and there was just screaming. It was as if you were at some mad, Taylor Swift concert. It's incredible. So he is a one-man marketing campaign And therefore, what happens is, I'm not saying this is what happened in Origin 1, but he did get bashed. All the slower, older blokes just want to get their hands on him and rough him up and bash him. Yeah. And that's going to be his career. And he'll end up looking like me in about 2 years' time.
Actually, speaking of your Broncos, why you're not even in the 8 anymore, mate? What's going on?
Mate, the last 5 weeks have been terrible. Because we're a one-team town, and I'll say that, they're bigger than the Dolphins are on the fringes of Brisbane, okay? But one-team town, I told you last week, they're all up themselves. So they're going, oh, how good's this? Look how good we are. And Reece Walsh phenomenon is part of it. They're not playing for each other. They're not playing with any grit. They're not playing with any getting down and getting dirty. They think, oh, we'll just throw it to our flashy guys. They'll win it for us. No, that's not how you win rugby league. It's an ugly game played by simple people, and the Broncos have forgotten that concept. Hopefully they find it again.
Wallaby squad tomorrow, mate. What are you expecting?
It's 36 players, many of whom... There'll be a lot of blokes who Eddie took to the World Cup who won't be in their squad. It'll surprise some. There'll be blokes brought back because Eddie went, oh, World Cup's a great place to blood some youngsters. No, it's not. So Joe Schmidt is hard-nosed, and he will fall back on people who can win games now, not win games in 2 years' time against the British Lions. He needs to win tests because rugby fans need to be engaged. And by God, we need to beat you eventually. So he'll go with guys who are tough and hard and not the future. He'll go with guys who are now. He'll pick form players. So we're loving Joe Smith, but he hasn't done anything yet.
Well, this is the thing, mate. I mean, you got a brand new coach. You got to hope again, and that's what I love because it is hope that kills, isn't it? And
that's it.
Every year. I mean, why don't we just do it now? Okay, let's just get it out of the way now because every year over the many, many years, you've been so generous with your time with me, and that you've always said at the start of the international season. Yeah, the Wallabies are going to bring back the Bledisloe Cup. I mean, so look, there's no point changing the narrative, is there, mate? Do it again.
There's no one under the age of 21 here in Australia has seen the Bledisloe Cup. It is a mythical thing, the Bledisloe Cup. But this could be our year. Have you pressed the record button?
Yeah, go on.
Mark it down. 2024 with Joe Smith, the great New Zealander, in charge, will be the year that the Wallabies will bring home the Bledisloe.
Okay, say it as though you believe it. No, come on, say it as though you believe it, mate. Try and convince her. Try and convince Mrs. Marto. So you're sitting in front of her, okay? Look her in the eye, okay, and tell her.
No, it'll be... We've got a crap generation. We've got a pretty crappy generation of players. We just need to get... Mate, we're still talking about Eels, Hoare and Little.
I know.
At Gregan. Yeah. And we're still Larkham. We're still talking about that. And now all those blokes are in their 40s. It's quite sad.
All right, I'll just leave you with this. Today in 1987, okay, what were you doing today in 1987? June 20.
Was that the start of the World Cup?
It was the World Cup, but it wasn't the start. It was the...
Oh, I don't know, the semi-final when we got beaten by France?
No, it was the final.
No? Oh, we weren't there. So we'd just been beaten on the Wednesday in Rotorua, and our captain had been sent off. Wales beat us with Thorburn kicking from the sideline to beat us in the playoff for third and fourth. So, anyway.